everybody? Hope all y'all are doing undeniably fan-freaking-tastic out there. It is I, your Grand Poobah Booyah, James SelfStandard, and I welcome all of you back to another episode of Rink Ramblings. And folks, today we're going to try to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Yeah, because just like last year, I think around this time, it was around this time last year, where I think I was actually rambling about 4 wrestling events in 1 weekend. And now it looks like that's happening again. Isn't that wonderful? But look, today I'm only going to ramble about 3 different wrestling events in one. Alright? Because tomorrow, Saturday, you have Night of Champions happening in Saudi Arabia. But Sunday, oh goodness gracious, Sunday, you got Forbidden Door happening, you got Great American Bash happening, and you got TNA Slammiversary happening in the same frickin' day. Goodness gracious. But look, I'm not rambling about Forbidden Door today, okay? I already got my own issues going on with AEW right now. I'll address that in a future video. I got to get all my notes straight. Whatever. I mean, I'm still gonna take a look at Forbidden Door anyway, because I'm kind of excited about Kenny versus Zack Sabre Jr. That's gonna be pretty cool, as well as that cage match happening, Sunday as well. Yeah, well, I'll address AEW in due time. Trust me. But let's just ramble about one show at a time, okay? Today I'm only going to ramble about Night of Champions happening tomorrow, and I'm going to ramble about Slammiversary and Great American Bash happening this Sunday, okay? So, first up, going to be rambling about Night of Champions, aka Night of Some Champions, because the current booking idea prevents every championship from being on the line like it used to. But we're not going to call it anything else. And I can't even remember if I've ever been a champion during a Night of Champions show. I can't even remember that. I have to go back and take a look at SSB's archives for that. But yeah, opening match. Well, I can't say this is the opening match. First match we're talking about today is for the King of the Ring Tournament Finals, as Jey Uso takes on Obafemi. Alright. Man, with SummerSlam just around the corner, man, everything seems to be falling in place for Obafemi to get sabotaged. And with the way it's looking, we're probably going to have Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes in one of the main events of SummerSlam. Ugh. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Look, Owen's been talking all that crap. About, oh, it's still 1-1 between me and... Dude, you're stirring the pot. You know Brock don't fight fair. You know this, man. He's gonna cost you the King of the Ring. He's gonna cost you the King of the Ring. He's gonna cost you the whole tournament. Because he's petty like that. We all know Brock is from Minnesota. He's probably gonna have his legit last match at SummerSlam. And so right now you're giving Oba 2 options right now. You can either A, let him go ahead and win King of the Ring, but just have Brock Lesnar interfere at SummerSlam just to ruin it for everybody. Or you can go ahead and have him ruin it for everybody tonight and just like rip the Band-Aid off. Just go ahead. Just rip the Band-Aid right on off. Just get it over with. Brock is gonna cost Obafemi this tournament, or he's gonna cost him the championship match. Because you think we're gonna get a dream match between Oba and Roman. No. SummerSlam is gonna be a false finish. SummerSlam is gonna be a dusty finish. I am highly entertained by all the buffoonery under the management style. This is wonderful. If Brock shows up, Jey Uso's winning. If he doesn't, Oba's winning. Okay? The only way Oba is winning this match is if Brock Lesnar doesn't show up. Alright. But next up, we have Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. Yay! Another Io Sky push. Yay! I thought I was going to get to see Liv Morgan versus Raquel Rodriguez. No! No! Ain't nobody going to see that. No! Nobody cares if I'm a big fan of Big Mommy Cool. Nuh-uh. No! We're going to play it safe. We're going to... Liv Morgan didn't even need to be in this match. She was already a champion. Trouble. That's her. If you can tell, I'm not taking this event well. But we're getting through it. Look, I kind of want Io Sky to win this match on one condition. This is the best thing I'm seeing for this, okay? What if Io Sky wins this match, but she goes after the SmackDown Women's Championship, right? Because what if Raquel interferes in this match, but she cost Liv the match? She cost Liv the whole tournament. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. If Raquel turns on the Judgment Day by turning on Liv Morgan. Because with a lot of this stuff, with a lot of this Judgment Day backstabbing going on, it's always been the group jump somebody first, not somebody jump somebody else first. Alright? And I'm not sure if you noticed, but right now Judgment Day has kind of gotten very uneven. They've been trying to keep it around longer than it needed to. Okay? And right now we're in a position where the women outnumber the men in the group 3-2. Because right now it's just Dirty Dom, JD, whatever's about to happen to him with that electrocution thing going on now. Let's see here. All of a sudden now it's just JD, Dirty Dom, Raquel, Liv, and Roxanne. So I can tell that maybe Raquel is going to be the one exiting the group really soon. Alright. Next up, the United States Championship is being defended by Trick Williams. Ooh yeah! Ooh yeah! Taking on Ricky Saints. Man, this is the fastest transition from an NXT feud to a main roster feud that I've seen in quite some time. Just like the quickness that Trick Williams has ascended the championship glory on the main roster is unheard of. Alright. But, heck, it wasn't even that long ago these two were main eventing Halloween Havoc. And I think I already included a meme of Trick Williams saying, ooh yeah, and from the contract signing between those two. And you know what, in case I didn't add it the first time, I'm going to add it the second time just because I like hearing him say it. Ooh yeah! But, yeah, Trick is not going to lose that title anytime soon. I don't see it happening. So, with that being said, Trick Williams is going to win this match. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna go one further. If Trick Williams doesn't lose his title by October, heck, who knows? Maybe he could take it with him into October. Who knows? But I kind of see Trick Williams being this year's Mr. Money in the Bank. That's a very good possibility. Very good possibility. Alright. So, next up, we have ourselves a steel cage match. Seth frickin' Rollins versus Braun frickin' Breaker. Where my dogs at? Hoo. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Alright. But, man, like, where does Seth go after this feud? Where? I mean, like, with Logan Paul still slightly injured, but just still, you know, hovering around Austin Theory. With Braun Breaker walking into this match, with out most of the help with the Vision, like how much longer can we squeeze this feud? How much longer? Cashapp, he needs to transition to something soon. Braun needs to transition to something soon. Either way, something needs to happen very soon. Okay? Like for both of these. Like, I want to see the Vision do something else. I want to see Seth Rollins do something else. Heck, if it helps, send the Vision to SmackDown or send Seth to SmackDown just to get them away from each other, okay? And I know matter of fact, has Seth ever been on the SmackDown roster before? I'm not sure if I can remember or not, but I know for a long time, Seth just kept saying, "Welcome to Monday Night Rollins," and that just kept rolling off the tongue. So maybe there wasn't much need to add him to the SmackDown roster, but yeah, I think sending Seth to SmackDown after this would be a pretty good idea. Alright, so I'm going to give this one to Seth Rollins only because Division, they need to focus on something else already. Alright, next up, the WWE Women's United States Championship is being defended by Tiffany Stratton, who takes on Jade Cargill. Man, I hate to say it, but I think it's got to go to Jade. It's got to go to Jade because like she just lost that championship to Rhea at WrestleMania, and now Rhea, I think she's on the verge of being out indefinitely with an injury of her own. I'm not sure when she's going to be back, but right now they're not confirming or denying anything in particular. Like this match kind of like helps pivot Jade into a new chapter of her career. And right now, I know lately Chelsea Green has been trying to politic her way into Tiffany Stratton's good graces. So maybe if we're about to get a Tiffany and Chelsea Green tag team, I think that's the path we need to go. But also, I heard Blake Monroe's on the way to the main roster. She's coming to SmackDown. Maybe this will be a good pathway for us to one day, soon get to a Blake versus Tiffany feud. Like I can see that on the horizon. But either way, right now, her holding that championship isn't going to help anything with the next chapter that I'm seeing might be best. Alright? So it wouldn't hurt nothing for Jade to pick that championship up. Alright? Alright, and lastly for the main event of Night of Champions, we have ourselves a triple threat match for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Alright, Cody Rhodes versus Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Alright, look. Heading into this match, like the whole Sami Zayn situation, it's been blown out of proportion, and I've seen this coming a mile away. Alright, I know exactly where this started because I know exactly how the domino effect works, and this all started back in January at the Royal Rumble. I said that I would... No, not even that. It was the qualifying match to get into the Royal Rumble Fatal 4-Way. I said I needed Sami Zayn to win the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia for that big pop so he could be the one to win the championship at WrestleMania. But no, because he couldn't be in the Royal Rumble itself, he had to lose the Fatal 4-Way. And the domino effect sent that man into a mental spiral. And everybody's out here booing him like it's his fault. Y'all are seeing this man wrestle with his mental health, and y'all are laughing about it. How dare you? Ugh. Yes, I am one of the ride or dies for Sami Zayn. I cannot deny that. Alright. There is nowhere on paper that says Sami Zayn can't be a WWE champion. It doesn't say that anywhere. But this match, it isn't the one. The mood isn't right. The mood isn't right. The fans aren't there with them. It's very depressing, okay? I said, look, if Sami Zayn couldn't win the Royal Rumble, then the only other backup plan was having Sami win in the main event of WrestleMania in 2027, because yes, Mania 2027 will be in Saudi Arabia. Like, this is a good area for Sami Zayn to win the match at. But look, with that in mind, I see Cody Rhodes winning this. I see Cody Rhodes winning this, but he's gonna end up pinning Sami Zayn to do it though. He's gonna pin Sami Zayn to do it. Alright, but yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the next show of TNA Slammiversary for 2026. Alright, so I heard that Slammiversary is actually going to be having an early start time. Alright, now this whole time I was expecting for TNA to hold Slammiversary sometime in July, but no, it just had to be in the convenient time area of 3 different shows in one day. Lovely. Lovely. Alright. But yeah, I haven't rambled about anything TNA in quite some time. So, yeah, a lot to talk about. Alright. Now, first up, we're going to have ourselves an Ultimate X match for the X Division Championship. Cedric Alexander is defending against Fabian Eichner, Amazing Red, Leon Slater, Casey Navarro, Frank Kazarian, and Mr. Elegance. 7 people in this Ultimate X match. Holy moly. Now look, obviously I'm kind of biased towards Cedric Alexander because I used to know the guy from APW. He came in, he won the championship for a night, I announced for the guy. And heck, that was like 11 years ago. Ooh. But yeah, I am still kind of upset that Cedric had to be the one to stop Leon's record, like at the very, very, very last day for him to retain it. But this match is going to be very interesting for at least me anyway, because I know Amazing Red has a lot of respect in his name. I've been hearing this guy's name for a while, and I think the very first time I heard about Amazing Red, I think he was supposed to be the cousin of Crimson back in the day. Man, that's a deep cut. Man, I wasn't even trying to have a pun there. Deep cut, Crimson, Amazing Red. Stop. Stop. Whatever. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Amazing Red does in this match, because I haven't really been able to actually get to know him as a wrestler that much. So this is going to be kind of educational for me a little bit, because I can't even remember the last time I actually watched an Amazing Red match. But look, dude, if Fabian Eichner and Mr. Elegance doesn't have a flex off, then y'all are missing an opportunity there. But yeah, I am looking forward to Cedric Alexander winning this match because, again, biased. But also, look, Cedric, when that man's a heel, he has to stop screaming. Like, I'm afraid this man just gave himself a sore throat, or he has hoarse throat. I think he's done permanent damage to his vocal cords, and that's scaring me. Cedric, like, stop trying to force bass out of your throat. It sounds like you're running out of breath every time you try to scream like that. Alright. Next up, AJ Francis versus Elijah. Look, I'm kind of mad at TNA right now as far as how they've been handling the official releases of their theme songs. And I have been looking for weeks for where to find Elijah's theme song, and I can't find nothing. Walk this way, walk this way. I cannot find that song anywhere. But earlier today, as I was getting the cards ready and everything for me to talk about, I actually did listen to AJ Francis' theme song of Cotton Pickin' Life. I was like, wait, this actually goes hard. Well, like, I wasn't giving AJ Francis enough credit as a rapper, but still, like, when it comes to AJ Francis, obviously he's like one of the most detestable heels in the business, which he's doing his job and he's doing it well. And obviously walking into this match, I'm hoping for Elijah to win, but bruh, I was thinking about this earlier today. For those of you that just been tuning into my OSG as of late, this past Thursday, I was, well, yesterday rather, I was doing a gameplay of Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, and I encountered the Grizz for the first time. You can't tell me that the Grizz isn't AJ Francis in bear form. Well, like, the personality is just too similar, I think. Alright. But yeah, I do want Elijah to win this match. Alright, next up, the Knockouts Tag Team Championships are being defended by the Elegance brands of M and Heather by Elegance, who take on the team of Rosemary and Allie. Dude, it's gotta be Rosemary and Allie. Like, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a big Rosemary fan. Lately the Elegance brand as champions, they haven't really been clicking that well. Like, they haven't really had that many defenses going on or whatever. But Rosemary and Allie, they can be the ones to reset the Knockouts Tag Team division. And Allie, she just came back in her own right, so I'm looking forward to seeing more action of her in the TNA roster. But also, like, Rosemary, she deserves it, okay? Like, I've been upset about the fact that Rosemary has not been champion more often than she already has been. And it's almost criminal to a degree. It really is. Well, like, Rosemary is a bona fide veteran in TNA right now. She's been around for a good while, like a very good while. What was it? Wasn't she one of the first people in Decay back in like 2015, 2014, one of those? Yeah, she was one of the founding members of Decay. She was there with Abyss and Crazy Steve, and then she was the one evolving the faction through time, and it was working for her. So, and not to mention, dude, Rosemary was the witch on the movie Monster Brawl, which I definitely recommend watching that. But yeah, I'm gonna give this to Rosemary and Allie. Like, they could use it. They could really use it. All right, next up, Moose versus Eddie Edwards. Oh, Moose all the way. Like, since the system kicked out JDC and Moose, like, the system has gotten nuclear levels of heat, and when Alicia turned on Moose at the very end, like, do you want to know something? The system are absolute jerks. So yes, Moose all the way, please. And speaking of the system's Bear Bronson and Brian Myers, they're defending their TNA Tag Team Championships in a Full Metal Mayhem triple threat tag team match. There is no correct way for me to word this at all. But Full Metal Mayhem for the TNA Tag Team Championships, as the system's Bear Bronson and Brian Myers defends against the Righteous and the Hardys. Alright, so I would say the easy answer for this is to give the belts to the Righteous. Because Bear and Brian, they won the belts from the Hardys. Alright, now we could just go ahead and let the system keep those belts, but no, I don't want to see that happen. Right now, since the Righteous have gotten to TNA, they have been on an extreme push. And well, they've been running an extreme wave of momentum that AEW wasn't letting them carry. Because, dude, I've been a big fan of Vincent, aka Vinny Marcellia, since I started watching Ring of Honor back in like 2017. He used to call himself the Horror King. Dude had like a Michael Myers mask as a knee pad at one point. But, yeah, like, what is this match for if it wasn't for finally putting the TNA Tag Team titles on the Righteous to begin with? Like, the fact that they brought out the Broken Hardys and they still found a way to beat them in that Wicked Garden match, which, dude, that one blew my mind. So, yeah, I would say give this to the Righteous. Please, give this to the Righteous. You dig what I'm saying? Alright, next up is Eric Young versus Ricky Sosa. When was that cleanse supposed to happen that Eric Young was talking about? Like, I thought that was supposed to be like some kind of big apocalyptic thing coming to TNA. Like, they had people planted in the backgrounds of the cleanse is coming, holding up the signs and everything. And, dude, like, Eric Young's villain arc in TNA, it has been growing a little unhinged and I think a little bit hard to manage, because I'll admit, I do kind of miss babyface Eric Young. I do kind of miss happy Eric Young. I kind of miss it. I can't deny it. But I think the last time Eric Young as a heel actually worked effectively well was when he was with what was it? Man, what was the name of that faction he used to be with? It's on the tip of my tongue. Violent by Design. Violent by Design. Yeah. So, going into this match though, I kind of want Ricky Sosa to win. Now look, I don't know that much about Ricky Sosa, but for some reason, since he's arrived at TNA, for whatever reason, his reputation has preceded him, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Ricky Sosa can actually do. Because, dude, like, just upon arrival, it's like the fans already knew what to do. Bang, bang! Sosa, Sosa! Bang, bang! Sosa, Sosa! How did the fans already know what to do? Well, there is a lore to Ricky Sosa that I need to take a look into. But with a high caliber pay-per-view stage like Slammiversary, this can make or break Ricky Sosa, and right now I think it'll be the smart move to let Ricky win this match. Alright, next up, the TNA Knockouts Championship is being defended by Lei Ying Lee versus Lia Brookside. Oh, Lei Ying Lee all the way. Like I cannot remember the last time that a babyface has gotten this emotional, where he or she was crying over their best friend stabbing them in the back and turning heel. But Miss Lee, that's an easier way for me to say it. Miss Lee has been selling the emotion of this match very, very well, and yeah, it would feel good for her to win this match. If Xia ends up winning this match, I will boo extremely loud. Alright. And lastly, the TNA Championship is being defended by Mike Santana, who takes on Nick Nemeth. And I smell a rat. I smell Sabatucci in the works. I have a very good feeling Ryan Nemeth is going to turn on Nick. I have a very good feeling that Ryan's going to get involved in this match somehow, and he's going to cost Nick the match, and we're going to get a Nick versus Ryan feud coming up shortly after Slammiversary. So, that's what I think is going to happen. But alright, that concludes my Slammiversary ring ramblings. So now let's go ahead and move on to the Great American Bash. Alright, so the first match I got to discuss about for the Great American Bash, it's going to be for the Speed Championship as Ren Sinclair defends against Ariana Grace. I gotta give this Ren Sinclair. Like, Evolution taught me something about how that's supposed to be a line in the sand. Yeah, because Evolution is a mystery. Makes a fool of you and me. Not just playing. But where I'm going with this is with Ariana Grace being a member of the Birthright faction. I really don't see how letting her be the only person with the championship benefits anyone right now. If you're going to give Ariana Grace the championship, you better find a way to commit and make everyone else the champion in the group too. But I don't see how that's possible. Unless you start sending people down to AAA, unless you start sending people down to Evolve and taking belts like that, I don't see how that's going to work. So, yeah, I'm going to give this one to Ren Sinclair. Alright, next up. This feud has been fun. Shiloh Hill versus Tristan Angels. Order. Like, I can't deny it. I'm starting to like Tristan Angels. Like, he's growing on me. Tristan Angels is kind of reminding me of Sir Richard Rose from Sunset Riders. They're both blonde. They're both rich. Heck, who knows? Maybe heck, they both got roses in their entrance. They're both elegant. They're both British. Like, I'm hearing that Tristan Angels is a 7th generation sheep herder, sheep shearer, something like that. So, who knows? Maybe Sir Richard Rose is a past ancestor of Tristan. Who knows? But anyway, look. I can't deny though. Like, I am starting to become a big fan of Shiloh Hill. Like, he is intriguing me so well. I'm hearing that he's got perfect Bray Wyatt energy with him, especially with that laugh. I can't even do the laugh justice. I can't do the laugh justice. But this dude is a bona fide psycho. He literally is like a mixture between Solomon Crow, Bray Wyatt, and Psycho Sid. For those of you who don't remember Solomon Crow, that was Sami Callihan's original NXT run from years ago. But, dude, I'm gonna get this one to Shiloh Hill. I love Shiloh. Alright, next up, the NXT Women's Championship. The NXT Women's Championship is being defended by Lola Vice, who takes on Kendall Gray. I got nothing against Lola Vice, but I can tell that sparingly they've been trying to push Kendall Gray here and there. Like, they've been sprinkling a little bit of a push here and there, dating back to Deadline. So, I kind of see Kendall Gray walking away with a shock victory on this one. Like, she could have pulled off an upset in this one. Alright, next up, the NXT North American Championship is being defended by Miles Bourne, who takes on Tavion Heights. You know what? I think it's time for Heights to finally walk away with some gold here. Like, dude's been super talented for quite a while, and like, when he came back, I could have swore that he was on the verge of having a heel turn, but no. Like, he was still buddies with Miles Bourne. He was still wanting to, like, you know, share space with him. Like, he was just finding a way to finally, you know, click into a certain edge, if that makes sense. So, I think it's time for Tavion Heights to walk away with a major championship in this contest. So, I'm going to give this one to Tavion. Alright, next up, I'm excited for this one. Saquon Sugars versus Dion Lennox. Saquon all the frickin' way. Dude, he's going to get lucky and pull off an upset in this. Like, I will never stop being proud of Saquon Sugars. Because, dude, for those of you that don't know, I actually wrestled the man. There was legit footage on this very channel where I wrestled him twice. Like, it is surreal to see this man on NXT on a weekly basis. Like, I am super proud of him. And like, heck, even before he even left for the PC, I remember I was in I remember being in JD Drake's class training a little bit, and Saquon, he came through. I gotta call him Lucky, okay? I know the man is Lucky Ali. All right, Lucky came through, and heck, I've actually trained with Lucky a little bit here in town. But besides that, before he even left for the PC, he came to my town, and he rolled up into JD Drake's class, and there was a what was it? There was kind of a little bit of a a tag team match drill going on, like a little bit of a practice tag team match. And who was teaming up with Lucky? I was. Humble brag right there. Yeah, I can take it. Humble brag. But yeah, yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Sugars because a victory for him, there won't be anything sweeter than that. When I first started hearing him say that as a catch, I was like, ooh, that actually kind of slaps. But oh, dude, Saquon Sugars, 2 S's, SelfStandard, 2 S's. Coincidence? I think not. Okay. Next up, the Women's North America Championship is being defended by Zarya, who takes on Tatum Paxley. I'm not gonna lie about it. I was kind of relieved to see Zarya finally get out of the shadow from Soruka. But when she had that match with Tatum Paxley, I was like, you know what? As big as a fan of Tatum Paxley as I am, I'm not going to be mad about this outcome. And you know what? I'm still not. Like, I'm still a big fan of Tatum Paxley, but Zarya, she was missing a lot too through the whole Soruka situation. But another loss to Zarya isn't going to hurt Tatum Paxley at all. At all. I'm looking forward to see where Tatum goes from this, but this shouldn't hurt her momentum going forward at all. Like, right now is just Zarya's turn to shine, and I'm looking forward to what both of these women do after this match. All right. And lastly, the NXT Championship is being defended by Tony D, who takes on Naruko. I heard before Naruko signed with NXT, a lot of people saying, oh, this man's going to be Rosh Kaijin or something like that. Like, I was hearing some kind of weird Japanese name that they wanted to assume he was going to have. But, dude, this man used to be pure evil in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, I was watching this guy when he was in New Japan, teaming up with LIJ. Heck, I even remember when Evil left LIJ shortly after I stopped watching it regularly. But, yeah. When it comes to Evil's new name, though, I was thinking, wait, did somebody literally just try fusing Goku and Naruto together just to give him that name? Very, very weird. Very, very strange. But, anywho, yeah, another thing I was thinking about was, dude, even when he was in New Japan, he was using the English word for evil. I was thinking, who knows, maybe if he goes to the States, he could call himself the Japanese word for evil. That was just something I was thinking about, but, yeah. Look, I still think Tony D's title reign is way too fresh to lose this quickly, and there's still like a lot of talent that he hasn't faced yet one-on-one. Like, he's still got to get through Mason Rook soon. He's still got to get through he's still got to get through Cam Hendricks. I think that's his name. But in all honesty, like, I kind of see Tony D dropping that title to either Jasper Troy or Kiana Carver coming up soon. If Tony D's going to drop that belt to anyone, I see him dropping it to Kiana Carver or Jasper Troy coming up soon. However soon that is, I'm not sure, but this 2D title reign, it needs to be healthy, okay? It needs to be healthy for quite some time. Alright. But, yeah, folks, that concludes all my ring ramblings for the weekend. For Night of Champions, Slammiversary, and Great American Bash. Ugh. So, yeah. Hope you find time to, enjoy one match at a time this weekend. And, yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, make sure all of you remember to be a Raiders got the mystic year round. Booyah. I'm out.